Okay, this segment we're picking up in east of Pittsburgh in Pennsylvania, going across Pennsylvania, pretty good sized state, going through part of New York and up to Vermont. Now we started out running really good. We had a few car issues. Let's see how it goes along. Here we started our morning at the hotel with pancakes. That a lot of hotels have you do your own waffles or your own pancakes. This one happened to have fresh pancakes by a little robot machine. And it's pretty neat. You push the button, it puts the batter on a cook plate, and then it conveyors through, cooks it, and comes out on the right hand side. Now, kids are pretty excited watching this. I enjoyed it. I thought, now that's American ingenuity right there. You push a button, and you see as the pancake works its way across the display, and then eventually they will come out on the right hand side. Hot, warm pancakes. This is American innovation. And it was just kind of a neat device that we saw along our way. Okay, if we're going to be on a road trip, make sure to pack the car, clean the windows, check the fluids, check everything on the car, check the tires. That's how you're going to have a successful road trip.
Go ahead.
So we had problems with overheating in the engine bay. Not engine temperature, but engine exhaust temperatures were getting things hot and melted out some of our wiring in the back here. This we had spot welded, but we just came up and put another seal on it, just trying to reduce the heat. And they didn't have a 3/4 inch bolt, so I ended up buying a hydraulic fitting that fit in there well to seal that off. We replaced this hose because that had broke down as well. But we have an exhaust leak over on this side. It makes the engine bay really hot. And then the engine has a problem when we're running in cities and stuff like that. So to fix it, I took tennis balls and cable tied them here so if they were to fall out, they don't fall out. Because I don't have too many tennis balls. We got 3 at a tennis court, and they happen to be the perfect size. So when we close the hood can latch, and then it's not going anywhere, but it keeps it open, so we get a lot of airflow and get that heat out of there. That mitigated our problem until we get a new exhaust gasket, and we have new wiring on order, but it seems to be a supply chain issue getting us the right wiring. So I numbered them all just so they're identified to make it easy to replace. We're going to try ordering it from another supplier now because we spent a week with the other supplier and they didn't get it to us. Okay. Our first supplier shipped us ignition wires to Ohio, but they didn't arrive as we had expected. So we got on down the road, and by the time they came into Ohio, we were a good 500-600 miles away. We had ordered 2 more sets for relatives on the East Coast, so that way no matter which location we were at, we would hopefully get the ignition wires as soon as possible. And those finally paid off. So now we have a couple sets. Check your tire pressures. Saves you on fuel economy. And make sure that you wear the tires right. So this one here appears a little low this morning. So we're going to check it. It's 4 pounds down. Normally have it at 36. So we'll monitor the next day or so. What happens. I sure have found this pump pretty handy. Made by Milwaukee, and it runs off of Milwaukee tool batteries. The unique thing is it can be charged off a USB-C, so you can charge it in the vehicle pretty easy. I'm checking the tires, making sure that there's no obvious poke or leak going on there. But the pump sure is pretty handy. You set in the value and just tell it to go, and it goes right up to the desired pressure and shuts itself off. as always, every day, check the oil. Make sure that we're doing good. And we are good. We're on a hill a little bit here, but we're still doing good. And transmission fluid, again, we're on a hill, but we still have fluid that's good. And we check coolant. See how quick and easy stuff is right here? This is brake fluid right here. And coolant, we're doing good as well. So check your fluids. It's that simple. Old cars, they weep, they leak, they might consume a little bit. As long as you keep them topped off, should keep running. Have a good day. We'll see you on down the road. When you buy a well-engineered car, you've got oil, you've got transmission fluid, you got brake fluid, and you got coolant, all within this nice area. So it doesn't take but a couple minutes to check your fluids and be having a good day. See you on down the road. Yeah, this one's down too. Okay, so this is a Makita tire pump, and it works off of Makita Power Tools rechargeable batteries. So they're really easy, and they can also be charged off a USB-C. So the neat thing is, you can charge it in your car, and that way it's recharged and ready for the next time. Pretty convenient. You put the tire pressure in that you want, and you hit go. It takes it right up to that tire pressure and then shuts it off. So pretty handy little tool to have on the road. Check your tire pressures. Check your tire pressures because it changes your fuel economy, and also it affects your tire wear too. Here we were down by just a couple PSI, but over a big road trip that adds up a lot on fuel economy and on tire wear. So you should know what your proper tire pressure is, and you should check your tire pressure. That's about it. You can even use a little manual gauge. It's that simple. We'll see you on down the road. That's fine. Yeah, well, something for another day here.
It's on again.
Okay, so tire caps are useful too. They're really inexpensive. Put them on there. That way, if the Schrader valve should leak or anything, it should slow that down, but it also keeps any junk or anything out of the valve body. It's real simple. It's real inexpensive. Use tire caps. Don't be lazy. Because the more tire pressure you have in it, the harder the tire is going to be, and should be less rolling resistance. The lower your tire pressure, the more footprint the tire has on the road, and also the more rolling resistance. So check your tire pressures. Makes a big difference. Keep the tire caps. They're simple. Don't be lazy. It's that easy, and we're doing good. So nothing needed here. Okay, thanks. Okay, wash your windows, wash them often. That way you can enjoy the scenery and you make sure to see everybody and everything. Take the bugs down, take the dirt down, wash those windows. Here our camera recorded as slow motion, so then I sped it up to show you how energetic I am at washing windows. So here we are driving down. This is some of the buildings and scenery we saw there in the Northeast. So here's some road shots as we were driving along, usually rolling through the smaller communities. Wonderful sky, wonderful weather. Just, we were having a great time. We're really fortunate for the weather that we received, and it was great sunshine. Here's some scenes of us driving along the road. I found this section of road interesting. That here we're cruising along, going along really well. There is some driveway access on the right hand side, driveways that come in or out of that area, but yet there's no left hand turns with the Jersey barrier. So some of those folks must have to go a mile or two down and loop back around to be able to get access. But overall, we seem to flow along pretty well there, and there were quite a few businesses. But I just found that to be an interesting configuration. Here, my camera person, director, and wife found that I was pretty focused on my driving. This is just one of our many artistic shots of me driving along. Here are some more scenes of the open road. Clear sky, good weather, sunshine, and just a road in front of you. Not much traffic at all in either direction. Just smooth flowing, driving down the road. Open roads, you can see the road in front of you. Nice shoulder. Really a nice day, everything. A good overpass there. Anyway, this is just some of the things we enjoy on the open road. Folks who drive in rush hour traffic and stuff, this is what we're used to seeing on our road trips. Scenery, open road, a couple other cars out there, but it makes for a great day. Nice hills, nice trees, wonderful sky. We're just making good time, clipping along. Clear signage, except for the one that said Indiana caught me off guard because I thought Indiana's over a couple states. Well, there's an Indiana and Pennsylvania. Hope you enjoy some of the scenery as we were having a great day. We're really enjoying the drive, but we're starting to notice our fuel economy is going off. We keep track of vehicle log, and so that way you can kind of see if your mileage is staying in check or if things are starting to fall off. Either you got a bad tank of gas, different gas station, different state, different additives. You try to keep track of those things to see if it catches you off guard. For us, the car started to act up a little bit, and didn't know if it was because we got fuel in a different state. Maybe there's more ethanol in the fuel. But those are some of the things that run through our minds as we start seeing that. But we stopped, we put gas in the tank, see what our mileage is, and we came across a gas station called Sheetz. And Sheetz had quite a bit of selection. It was almost like a truck stop and gas station and restaurants all in one. So, these other states, we have ethanol and fuel. The old car doesn't quite like the ethanol and the fuel. But we're buying high test anyway, so I read somewhere that I hope the high test doesn't have ethanol, it doesn't have as much ethanol. the way it is.
Got ourselves a Sheetz.
We were always amazed at how large the selections were at these Sheetz gas stations. Pretty day for November and unusually warm weather for this part of the country. We were really enjoying the drive. Nice slopes, nice road, nice view. Not a lot of traffic. Traffic was flowing really well. It really was a nice segment on our trip. As we go along, more fill-ups, and most all gas stations state that they may contain ethanol. So we're not sure how the ethanol will affect the older plastics in our older car. This leaf stuck in our grill and it held on for a long time. So as we were filling up, we were amazed at how well that leaf had grabbed onto the grill and was hanging on. Here's another construction zone that we drove through. It's always nice to see improvements to the infrastructure in America. Here we are. Wonderful day again. We're cruising along. Nice roadway. Here we'll try some time-lapse footage to speed us up a little bit. And we're not speeding, we're just speeding up with the camera. Just trying to break up our photography and show you some of the road trip. Here, again, wonderful road. And my dad was a highway engineer. And normally you'd stay in the right-hand lane unless passing in the left. But here we have some folks that may have grown up in other areas that stay in the left-hand lane. They're not exactly passing, they're just causing congestion. Everyone should try to stay in the right-hand lane, is the way I was raised. And the road should flow as if it's a river, and then pass on the left as you need. Here's some infrastructure where they're working on some bridge and hillside approach here. It sure is nice to see the work on the infrastructure to keep up on our America highways. Overall, compared to some of our highways in Alaska, these roads are just beautiful. Smooth sailing, not a lot of bumps. Look at that view. That is just a wonderful view.
It's hard for me to see. I can't always tell when it gets. I love New York. Congratulations, you're in New York.
Woohoo! We made it to another state. New York's in the bag. Yet another state in our collection of states. We're cruising along pretty good. The sun's starting to go down a little bit. See the shadow and the colors in the hillside. But according to our gas mileage, we should make it fine in Vermont. But with the performance of the car, we seem to be burning more fuel. So I reassure my passenger that we'll stop and get gas instead of pushing all the way through to Vermont. And that turns out to be a very good maneuver for what we experience in upstate New York. And we see more overpasses and bridges. But what's amazing is how big the spans are that they're able to reach across the highway and still be able to handle semi-loads. It's really amazing to see some of this infrastructure, even in upstate New York. Here's a shot of the sun setting in our rear view mirror, and we're still having a wonderful day and still cruising, heading up towards Vermont. There's one lane the car barely fit on it. Suspension bridge.
North to New Albany. I mean, that's to Albany. That's what we want.
Okay. Oh, 86.
North Albany.
26.
Doing great.
Good sized building over there.
Looks like it says AmScan. Lights are blinding right now.
Yeah, strobes are set for daytime and not nighttime.
Looks like there's a cop
Nobody
up.
reads the man.
Do it again.
Chicken! Here we are cruising along, and all of a sudden we run into some Humvees. Looks like it might be a little military convoy, but we're starting to see more traffic. The sun's setting, and we're calculating our mileage up towards Vermont. And while we have enough to probably make it, we're going to take the next refueling stop and fill up, and that way we have some reserves as we go into the night. We're here in New York. We made it through Pennsylvania and New York. We're in Malden stop. We're taking a little rest and we'll continue up on the way. We had a great day, lots of sunshine, been a wonderful drive. See you on down the road. After filling up and getting on the road, we then see that there is some traffic issue up ahead for about 19 miles. And so we drive up there, and all of a sudden we start seeing emergency vehicles, we start seeing tow trucks, and we were very glad that we stopped and got gas. Calmed my passenger down greatly that instead of trying to get by on the gas that we had lots of reserves, because we end up having some stop and go traffic while they took care of an emergency scene here on the highway.
Everybody's okay. Jeez, there's a lot of pregnancy people on here.
Oh, this is a crash attenuation device. I mean, it's a truck, but they put it there to keep somebody from blazing into the zone. They got 2 million cones out. We got commands. We got
This is probably
rescue, extraction.
Oh, this is bad. Oh my God, this is bad.
So this is a scene in Troy, New York, as we drive into the city. Rensselaer is the university that happens to be nearby. Our son had looked at Rensselaer as we were looking at colleges. But here it just shows some of the overpasses, some of the retaining wall, and just wonderful roadways that are built here. We just thought we'd share some of this experience from our road trip, and we're still heading up to Vermont.
There's Troy. Downtown Troy.
There we go.
Vermont, yes, we have made another state. We have made it to Vermont. Alaska Road Trippers has made it from Alaska all the way across the northern United States and now to Vermont. Please like and subscribe and follow us along our journey to get all lower 48 states. This is Alaska Road Trippers. We'll be seeing you on down the road.